Part 1 sets the stage for the story, establishing a calm, cozy, and relatable environment where the protagonist is enjoying a quiet afternoon at home. The scene begins with the protagonist alone in the living room, sitting comfortably on a soft couch or perhaps on the floor, completely engrossed in playing with their kitten. This part is all about capturing the warmth and charm of the protagonist's bond with their pet, allowing readers to immediately connect with the characters and setting. The protagonist's kitten is introduced as a lively, mischievous, and playful creature. Its movements are unpredictable, hopping from one corner of the room to another, pouncing on toys, and occasionally knocking over small objects. The narrative can highlight the kitten's adorable quirks, like curling its tail when it's excited, batting at imaginary targets, or climbing furniture with clumsy determination. These small details not only paint a vivid picture of the kitten's personality, but also serve to create a sense of liveliness and joy that contrasts with the calm afternoon setting. At this stage, the protagonist's internal thoughts can also be explored. They might reflect on how much they enjoy these quiet moments, appreciating the simple joy of the kitten's playful antics. Perhaps they laugh softly at the kitten's clumsy jumps or feel a sense of comfort as the kitten curls up in their lap. This inner reflection helps readers understand the protagonist's personality, someone who cherishes small, peaceful moments and has a nurturing, affectionate side. The room itself is described to enhance the sense of everyday normalcy. Sunlight may stream through a window, casting a warm glow on the furniture and floor. Toys, cushions, and scattered blankets create a lived-in, cozy atmosphere. These environmental details make the setting feel real and relatable, grounding the story in a domestic, familiar space. The ordinary afternoon is deliberately tranquil, emphasizing that the events about to unfold, the entrance of the little brother and the ensuing chaos, will disrupt this calm in an entertaining and unexpected way. In Part 1, the focus is entirely on establishing comfort, routine, and emotional connection. The protagonist and kitten's interactions are playful but intimate, setting the tone for the story. It's a quiet moment of happiness, filled with laughter, affection, and a sense of contentment. This calm scene not only endears the protagonist and their pet to the audience, but also provides a stark contrast to the chaos that will follow in later parts, heightening the story's tension and humor. By the end of Part 1, readers are familiar with the protagonist, their environment, and the kitten's spirited personality. The stage is perfectly set for the next development, the little brother walking in and unknowingly triggering a chain of comedic and heartwarming events. The calmness of this part ensures that the upcoming surprises will feel more dramatic and engaging. Part 2 shifts the story from the calm, cozy atmosphere established in Part 1 to the first hint of disruption, as the protagonist's little brother unexpectedly enters the room. The tone changes subtly from relaxed and peaceful to light-hearted and playful, setting up the conflict and humor that will drive the next sections. This part is essential because it introduces a new character who contrasts with the protagonist's composed enjoyment, creating opportunities for comedic tension and sibling dynamics. The little brother's entrance is sudden and unannounced. Perhaps the door swings open, or he peeks around the corner, his curiosity instantly drawn to the kitten's playful antics. The protagonist is momentarily startled, causing a brief flurry of movement. Maybe the kitten jumps or bolts in surprise, and the protagonist instinctively reaches out to steady it. This reaction highlights the protagonist's attentiveness to the pet and subtly underscores their protective instincts, both toward the kitten and the household order. The kitten's behavior mirrors this shift, reacting with wide-eyed curiosity or pouncing toward the new visitor, adding energy and unpredictability to the scene. The little brother's personality begins to emerge immediately. He may be energetic, mischievous, or overly enthusiastic, wanting to join in the fun without fully understanding how to play gently with the kitten. His excitement contrasts sharply with the protagonist's more controlled, careful approach, establishing the first sparks of sibling tension. Through dialogue or internal monologue, the protagonist might express mild frustration or amusement, thinking, for example, "I just wanted a quiet afternoon, and now he's here." These interactions are relatable to readers who have experienced similar situations with siblings or family members, grounding the story in realism. This part also provides a chance to explore the kitten's adaptability and personality. As the little brother approaches, the kitten might sniff his fingers cautiously, dart away playfully, or attempt to engage him in a chase. These small moments of interaction serve two purposes. They increase the story's humor and endear both the pet and the characters to the reader. The kitten acts as a bridge between the siblings, even if unintentionally, and sets up the upcoming comedic chaos. Additionally, the narrative can explore the underlying dynamics between the siblings. There may be playful teasing, gentle bickering, or the protagonist feeling the responsibility of guiding the younger sibling. For example, the protagonist might try to instruct the little brother on how to approach the kitten without startling it, showing patience and care. This moment highlights the growing bond and foreshadows how cooperation will become crucial in later parts when the situation escalates. By the end of part 2, the stage is set for chaos and humor. The living room is no longer a tranquil retreat, but a space charged with energy and potential mishaps. Readers are aware that the little brother's presence will amplify the kitten's antics, pushing the story toward the playful, slightly chaotic events of part 3. The tension part 3 is where the calm and curiosity of the previous parts give way to full-blown chaos, turning the living room into a lively, unpredictable scene. With the kitten, the protagonist, and the little brother all engaged in play, the energy levels spike dramatically. This part is essential for both humor and tension, as it allows the personalities of all three characters, the mischievous pet, the patient protagonist, and the energetic little brother, to fully interact and clash in entertaining ways. The chaos begins subtly but quickly escalates. The kitten, thrilled by the little brother's sudden involvement, may leap from furniture, dart across the room, or chase toys at high speed. Its unpredictable movements make it challenging for the protagonist and little brother to keep up. The protagonist attempts to anticipate and manage the kitten's antics, trying to prevent accidents or the kitten from knocking over valuables. At the same time, the little brother, eager to join the fun, may grab toys, chase the kitten, or attempt to mimic the protagonist's gentle movements, often clumsily, unwittingly making the situation more chaotic. Humor is a key element in this part. The room becomes a flurry of motion. Cushions are scattered, a small vase might teeter dangerously, or a book tumbles to the floor. The protagonist could exclaim in exasperation while trying to catch the kitten mid-leap, and the little brother might laugh uncontrollably, thinking the chaos is part of the fun. These exaggerated, yet relatable, mishaps give the story a lively, cinematic quality, drawing the reader into the action. The kitten's antics are central, as it embodies pure energy and unpredictability, often creating comedic timing that the humans cannot control. Part 3 also explores character dynamics under pressure. The protagonist's patience is tested, and the little brother begins to see that interacting with the kitten isn't as simple as it looks. Moments of near disaster, such as the kitten climbing too high, hiding in small spaces, or darting under furniture, highlight the need for cooperation. The protagonist may instruct the little brother on how to move gently, block the kitten from dangerous areas, or retrieve toys safely. These interactions subtly reinforce lessons about responsibility, empathy, and teamwork, showing growth even amid the chaos. Emotionally, this part balances tension and amusement. The protagonist may feel a mixture of frustration, worry, and amusement, while the little brother experiences excitement and curiosity. The kitten, blissfully unaware of the human struggle, adds levity and unpredictability. Readers are drawn into the scene, imagining the lively energy of a room in turmoil, filled with laughter, shouts, and the sound of tiny paws skittering across the floor. By the end of part 3, the chaos reaches its peak, leaving the protagonist and little brother exhausted but exhilarated. Objects are scattered, the kitten may have hidden momentarily, and both humans are learning to anticipate its next move. This sets the stage perfectly for part 4, a small crisis, where one unexpected mishap forces them to cooperate fully, deepening their bond and moving the story toward resolution. Part 3 is the turning point where playful fun tips into a challenge, keeping readers engaged with humor, suspense, and emotional resonance. Part 4 marks the transition from playful chaos to a moment of genuine tension, where the story's humor is balanced with a sense of urgency. After the wild antics in Part 3, the protagonist and little brother are now faced with a situation that requires careful attention and cooperation. This small crisis is pivotal because it tests their problem-solving skills, patience, and teamwork, while also deepening the emotional connection between the siblings and the kitten. The crisis can take many forms, but it usually involves the kitten getting into a precarious situation. Perhaps it climbs onto a high shelf, slips behind heavy furniture, or becomes tangled in a curtain or a string of yarn. Alternatively, the kitten might knock over a small but fragile object, like a vase or a glass, creating immediate concern. The protagonist's initial reaction is a mix of alarm and urgency. They need to ensure the kitten's safety while minimizing damage. Meanwhile, the little brother, though excited, may freeze or make impulsive attempts to help, adding to the tension and unpredictability of the scene. This part allows for deeper exploration of character dynamics. The protagonist may issue calm but firm instructions, trying to guide the little brother without scolding him too harshly. For example, they might say, "Don't reach for it, wait, we can do this together," emphasizing collaboration over blame. The little brother, initially unsure, begins to realize the importance of following directions and staying composed. This moment becomes a subtle but meaningful lesson in responsibility, as both siblings must put aside their earlier playful competitiveness to focus on the shared goal, rescuing the kitten safely. The kitten's behavior heightens the emotional stakes. Its confusion, fear, or sudden bursts of movement can create suspense, keeping the reader engaged. Perhaps it mews loudly or struggles to free itself, prompting quick thinking from both humans. These moments evoke empathy, as the reader understands the protagonist's worry and the little brother's desire to help, while also maintaining the story's underlying warmth and humor. The kitten acts as a catalyst, forcing the siblings to work together and communicate effectively. Humor is still present in this part, but is intertwined with the tension. The little brother might make clumsy attempts that backfire in minor, funny ways, such as nearly tripping over a rug or knocking over a cushion while reaching for the kitten. The protagonist might sigh, roll their eyes, or offer exasperated but affectionate commentary. These small comedic touches ensure the crisis feels engaging rather than overly dramatic, keeping the story lighthearted and relatable. By the end of Part 4, the crisis is resolved. The kitten is safely retrieved, and no major damage has occurred. The siblings share a quiet moment of relief, often laughing together at how frantic the situation became. This experience reinforces their bond and sets the stage for Part 5, where they reflect on the chaos, laugh about their teamwork, and recognize the growing connection between the little brother, the protagonist, and the kitten. Part 4 is crucial because it blends suspense, humor, and emotional growth, showing that challenges, no matter how small, can bring people closer together. Part 5 is the moment where the story transitions from the tension and chaos of the previous sections into calm, reflection, and emotional closure. After the small crisis in Part 4, the protagonist and their little brother have successfully worked together to resolve the situation with the kitten. This part emphasizes the aftermath of the events, the siblings' growing bond, their shared sense of accomplishment, and the warm humor that comes from looking back at the day's playful chaos. It allows readers to process the story's emotional arc and see the growth in both human characters. The scene opens with a noticeable shift in atmosphere. The kitten, now safe in content, may settle in the protagonist's lap or curl up next to the little brother, exhausted from its earlier excitement. The living room, though slightly messy from scattered toys and cushions, feels calm and cozy once again. This return to tranquility provides a clear contrast to the frantic energy of Part 3 and the tension of Part 4, highlighting the resolution and giving readers a satisfying sense of closure. At the heart of this part is the reflection of the characters. The protagonist may look around at the scattered toys and the kitten's happy state, realizing how much patience, care, and teamwork were required to navigate the day's events. They reflect on their little brother's role, not just as a source of chaos, but as someone who stepped up, learned quickly, and ultimately contributed to the solution. Similarly, the little brother may recognize that playtime with pets requires responsibility and attention, deepening his understanding of empathy, gentleness, and cooperation. This reflective aspect is crucial, as it adds emotional depth to a story that is otherwise lighthearted and humorous. Humor continues to play a role in Part 5, though in a softer, more nostalgic way. The characters may laugh at the kitten's antics, the minor accidents that occurred, or their own overreactions during the crisis. These moments reinforce the story's playful tone and remind readers of the fun and unpredictability of pets and siblings. The humor is intertwined with warmth, ensuring the story remains engaging while emphasizing character growth. The emotional core of Part 5 lies in the strengthened bond between the siblings and their pet. Working together during the crisis has fostered trust, cooperation, and a sense of shared achievement. The protagonist may feel a new appreciation for their little brother's energy and enthusiasm, recognizing it as a positive force when guided properly. The little brother, in turn, experiences pride in helping and being part of the solution, fostering a sense of maturity and confidence. By the end of Part 5, the story has reached its emotional climax. The crisis has been resolved, lessons have been learned, and the characters have grown closer. The scene naturally leads into Part 6, where calm fully returns, and a subtle twist hints at future playful adventures. This part ensures that readers leave with both a smile and a sense of satisfaction, understanding that the day's chaos has ultimately strengthened family bonds and created lasting memories. Part 6 serves as the story's conclusion, where calm is restored after the chaos and minor crisis of the previous parts, but a subtle twist adds a final touch of humor and warmth. This section wraps up the narrative by showing the aftermath of the kitten's antics and the siblings' cooperation while leaving the reader with a sense of ongoing life and playful potential. It emphasizes character growth, strengthened relationships, and the lasting bond between the protagonist, their little brother, and the kitten. The scene begins with a return to relative tranquility. The living room, though still showing minor evidence of the earlier chaos, scattered toys, slightly askew cushions, or a knocked-over blanket, feels calmer. The kitten, now content and perhaps a little tired from the day's excitement, curls up in the protagonist's lap or stretches lazily on the floor. The protagonist resumes playing gently with the kitten, demonstrating patience, care, and a renewed appreciation for these peaceful moments. The atmosphere conveys warmth, relief, and the comfort of returning to normalcy after a lively disruption. However, the story introduces a twist that adds charm and humor to the ending. The little brother, having observed and participated in the previous chaos, discovers that the kitten has taken a liking to him. Perhaps the kitten curls against his legs, bats playfully at his fingers, or even follows him around the room as he moves. This shift surprises the protagonist, who realizes that the little brother has earned the kitten's trust and affection. The twist underscores a subtle role reversal. The little brother, initially seen as the disruptive force, has become a valued playmate for the kitten, highlighting the unpredictability of relationships and the rewards of patience and cooperation. This part also emphasizes character development. The protagonist recognizes that their little brother, once an uncontrollable presence in the living room, has grown more responsible, gentle, and aware of the kitten's needs. The little brother, in turn, experiences pride, happiness, and a sense of accomplishment. Through this mutual growth, the story conveys themes of empathy, collaboration, and the joys of nurturing both pets and sibling relationships. The emotional tone is heartwarming, leaving readers with a sense of satisfaction and connection to the characters. Humor remains subtly present in Part 6, often through the kitten's playful gestures or small lingering messes from earlier chaos. These touches remind readers of the story's lighthearted nature, preventing the conclusion from feeling overly sentimental or static. The protagonist and little brother may exchange a knowing smile or a gentle laugh, reflecting on the day's events and the unexpected fun they shared. By the end of Part 6, the story concludes on a cozy, uplifting note. Calm has returned, the kitten is happy, and the sibling bond has deepened, yet the twist hints at future playful adventures. The reader is left with a sense of continuity. The household is lively, relationships have grown, and life's small surprises continue to create joy and connection. This ending reinforces the story's themes of family, responsibility, humor, and the unpredictable charm of pets, ensuring a satisfying and memorable conclusion.